This is episode number 10 for Sheep and Goat Topics, and I'm Dr. Mike Neary, Extension Small Ruminant Specialist, Purdue University. On this episode, we will discuss the importance of colostrum for lambs and kids and some strategies to ensure adequate and timely intake of colostrum. Colostrum is the first milk that is secreted by the mother for the first 2 days after lambing or kidding, and is extremely important to the survival of newborn lambs or kids. It is typically a thick, yellow secretion that contains a high amount of protein, antibodies, and fat-soluble vitamins that help support the newborn animal. It also provides rich sources of energy in the form of fats and sugars that can be used as a source for heat production to prevent hypothermia. Colostrum also has natural laxative properties that aids in the passage of the meconium plug. However, the most crucial aspect of colostrum are the maternal antibodies contained, as ruminant neonates are born without a functioning immune system and must naturally acquire passive immunity through the consumption of colostrum. The quantity of colostrum ingested by the newborn lamb or kid is important to ensure that they have adequate antibodies to protect themselves before their own immune system develops. The lamb or kid must ingest colostrum within the first hours of birth and then throughout the first 12 hours of life in order for the transfer of immunity from the colostrum to the newborn to be effective. This time period is extremely important because the lamb or kid is only able to transfer antibodies from the gut to the bloodstream for about 12 to 15 hours. The antibodies need to reach the bloodstream so that they can be carried to all areas of the body where infection may enter. In addition, passive immunity means that the lamb or kid only has immunity against microorganisms that the ewe has been exposed to and developed antibodies against. This exposure can be from natural contact with pathogens or produced as a result of a vaccination program. Once the lambs and kids are born, it is important to monitor newborns to ensure they are receiving adequate amounts of colostrum. If lambs or kids do not ingest the colostrum needed on a timely basis, or the quality of the colostrum is poor, the lamb or kid could become hypothermic, fail to thrive, or become more susceptible to disease, resulting in a chronically sick animal. The amount of colostrum a newborn lamb or kid should consume depends on the size of the animal. An average lamb or kid weighing about 9 to 12 pounds should get about 1 liter, which is 33 to 34 ounces, from the mother throughout the first 18 hours of life. Lambs or kids born in colder weather and those that are larger than the average size will need more colostrum. Lambs or kids born inside in warmer weather and those that are smaller may be able to get by on less than average consumption. If the ewe or doe does not produce enough colostrum, the best option is to collect colostrum from another ewe or doe in your operation. The optimal candidates for colostrum harvesting are those ewes or does that only have a single lamb or kid, are well fed, and are producing large amounts of colostrum. You can milk a mother's colostrum into a container or a stomach tube up to 3 times within the first 24 hours. However, make sure that she is providing enough colostrum to her own offspring. Check to make sure the mother's original lamb or kid is healthy and is full to make sure it is getting enough colostrum before you milk or harvest for another lamb or kid. Also, make sure the ewe or doe has been in lactation for less than 18 hours so that the quality of her colostrum is high. Excess colostrum can then be chilled in the refrigerator for up to 2 days or stored for 12 months in the freezer. Thaw frozen colostrum by placing the container in hot water from about 90 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Colostrum cannot be thawed and then refrozen as it will damage and reduce the antibodies in the sample. Also, do not heat the frozen colostrum at too high of a temperature as it will denature the antibodies contained in it. Do not microwave frozen colostrum. Another option for supplementing colostrum is to use cow colostrum, though this is not as favorable as sheep or goat colostrum. When supplementing with cow colostrum, you should feed the lamb or kid about 30% more colostrum on the 18-hour basis. The disadvantages to cow colostrum are that there are not as many specific antibodies to diseases encountered by sheep and goats. Immunoglobulin G is the most common type of antibody found in the blood of animals and is also found in colostrum. All lambs and kids need IgG to develop passive immunity against infection. It is important to give the lamb or kid the IgG that most closely matches its species, as it will be the most effective. For a lamb, ovine IgG is the best. Caprine is second best, and bovine is third best. For a kid, caprine IgG is the best, ovine is second best, and bovine is third best. A third option for not having adequate colostrum is to use commercial colostrum replacements and supplements. Colostrum replacers should be used if colostrum from another ewe, doe, or cow cannot be obtained and are not the same as milk replacers. Colostrum replacers contain IgG, and it is important to check the source of IgG when looking at the product. The majority of colostrum replacers contain bovine IgG, then therefore are not as effective for sheep and goats. However, replacers are still a viable replacement if there are no other alternatives. Unlike replacers, colostrum supplements are used to enrich low-quality colostrum but cannot replace colostrum altogether. Supplements may contain vitamins, minerals, probiotics, fats, and proteins to enrich the colostrum, but if they do not contain IgG, then they really have limited value. In conclusion, colostrum is extremely important to the survival of the lamb or kid due to the antibodies and high fats it contains. Colostrum works to help the offspring gain passive immunity, has laxative properties, and contains protein and fats that help heat production. It is critical that the lamb or kid receives appropriate quantity and quality of colostrum. If the ewe or does do not produce a high enough quantity of colostrum, there are a variety of replacements, which include high-quality colostrum from other sheep and goats, colostrum for cows, or commercial colostrum replacers. Because colostrum can affect the quality of life for a lamb or kid, it is one of the most important considerations during lambing and kidding season. Thank you for listening to this episode of Sheep and Goat Topics. If you found it helpful, please subscribe, rate it, and tell other sheep and goat producers about it. Thank you very much.